Hey guys, it's Eric from American Eye, and I'm today's guest host on Talltanic, but more on that later. For now, let's get on to that video.
Every day we are exposed to thousands of objects, and within those many items, there are little things that you might have just overlooked. However, dig a little bit deeper and you realize that many of those little things have a much larger purpose. Today, we have a look at the reason why those little things actually exist. Number 27. Not just a fashion statement. Woolly winter hats are often topped with a colorful bubble, and it's easy to see why we've only ever thought that it was a fun way to decorate our headgear. However, those baubles were put on a woolly headgear to assist the French Marines who used to wear sailor hats with a bauble on top. This would act as a barrier to prevent the sailors from bashing their heads against the low cabin ceilings. Later on in life, the military would use different colored baubles to show the different branches of the military. Number 26. Filler up. Have you ever noticed a little arrow next to the fuel pump of your fuel gauge? Not all cars have this simple addition that really makes a huge difference when filling up. That arrow indicates which side the tank is on, so you can park with ease, knowing your vehicle is facing the right direction. Number 25. Wash, rinse, repeat. Often when you buy a new item of clothing, attached to the price tag will be an additional button and a small swatch of the fabric the item is made from. That little fabric swatch is there for you to test your detergents on, so you won't damage the item of clothing on its first wash. Number 24. Single/in a relationship. Have a look at many men's shirts and you'll notice there's a loop on the back. These loops were added on the clothing during the 1960s to make it easier to hang on the locker pegs. They also served another, way more obscure purpose, and thank goodness that has changed over time. In American universities, the guys would snip the loop off, which was a sign that they were in a relationship. You know, just in case the girls just started throwing themselves at the hapless men. Number 23. Choking hazard. You know those cheaper ballpoint pens that have the removable lid? You might have seen the little hole in the middle of them. In fact, they make for a great distraction in class. Anyways, they actually serve a far greater purpose than blowing through them. They are there to reduce the risk of suffocation. As the lids are so small, they're easy for kids to swallow. The little holes ensure that the airways are not entirely blocked, giving you a chance to ultimately rescue your child. Number 22. A change is as good as a holiday. You might have asked yourself this question before. Why is a keyboard not done in alphabetical order? Wouldn't it be just much easier to learn? Many believe that they're created the way they are, as it places more frequently used keys in a way that makes them easier to reach. However, the original typewriters were made with keys in alphabetical order. So why the change? Typists were typing so quickly that the mechanical arms would often get tangled, so they rearranged the keys randomly to slow down the typing and prevent jams. And it's remained that way ever since. It's far from perfect, but people are so used to it and no one wants to change it. Number 21. Clever thinking. Admittedly, I've never wondered why there are holes in my pot handles, but now that I know the reason, it's revolutionized my life. Those holes in the handles of your pots and pans are not there for decoration, but actually to hold your spoon while you're cooking. This means that the messy spoons can drip directly back into the pan. Brilliant. Number 20. A hole-in-one. Chupa Chups are probably the most recognized lollipop brand in the world, and each candy stick has a tiny hole at the top. Kids generally use the hole to whistle through when they're done sucking their lollipop. The purpose of that little hole is to prevent the candy from falling out. Think about it. Have you ever had your Chupa Chup fall off its stick? I don't think so. Number 19. For the love of shoes. At some point in our lives, we've all owned a pair of Converse Chuck Taylors. But have you wondered what the little two holes in the side panels are for? To give your feet some breathing room seems like a plausible option, but it has to do with the lacing. This style was pretty common in basketball shoes, and it offered players another way to lace their shoes to prevent them from slipping on the court. Of course, we don't need it today, but it's a part of their iconic look. Number 18. Dinner for one. It's so easy to misjudge the amount of pasta you need to cook, so your pasta server will do it for you. The hole in the spoon measures the right serving of pasta for one person. We won't judge you though if you add a little bit more. Number 17. It's not just a pretty bottle. The name for the indentation you find in a wine bottle is called a punt. Punts are not just there to make the bottle look pretty, but they assist in controlling the pressure while the bottle is being corked. It also assists the sediment to settle in a much smaller space so it doesn't come out too easily when you pour your much needed glass of wine or two. Number 16. Mile High Club. If you're a frequent flyer, you'll have noticed the tiny hole in your airplane window. That little hole serves two important purposes. It helps to compensate for air pressure, which is great as it wouldn't be ideal if the windows started shattering, and secondly, these breather holes prevent the windows from fogging up. Number 15. And now you know. If you own an iPhone, you would have probably noticed a little black dot situated between the flash and camera and probably not thought too much about it. That little dot is a noise-canceling microphone, so if you're chatting on the phone and there's a lot of background noise, it takes a lot of it away and retains your voice. Number 14. And you're a winner. The excitement of peeling away the little plastic piece from the inside of a soda lid cap is hard to describe. It may surprise you that they're not just there to give away prizes. I know, a real disappointment, but they do serve a real purpose. The little disc ensures that your soda remains fizzy and doesn't go flat. I reckon that's good enough for second prize. Number 13. All the better to see you with. Every keyboard comes standard with those little legs allowing you to lift the keyboard and thought to help with typing. Those little stands were created to help PC users see what keys they were hitting. By angling the keyboard, it made it easier to see the keys. That may be so, but it's been proven that the board is actually more ergonomic if it's placed flat. Number 12. A little extra. Every pair of running or training shoes has some extra holes at the top, but you know why. If you have feet problems, you might be able to ease the discomfort a little bit by lacing your shoes differently. Slipping heels, painful toes, bunions, arches, a bad stride can all be compensated for just by lacing your shoes in a different way. Have a look at some of the options and hopefully this will help you in the future. Number 11. Worth a try. Ketchup is a staple in the home, but it can also cause problems, especially if you're bashing the bottle in the hope to get more out, and it explodes all over you. Here's something you might not have known. On each bottle is the number 57. It's not the age or anniversary of Henry John Heinz, but it's there to mark the sweet spot to tap to ensure the perfect amount is released from your ketchup bottle. Number 10. Delve in our history. It's easy to assume that tiny little pockets in our jeans are just useless or a good place to store some money that you inevitably forget about. But a long time ago, that was the perfect place to put your pocket watch. Not sure why they keep it, but it's a good reminder of just how far we've come since those days. Number 9. Staying with jeans. Why all the additional studs? Seams were just a massive problem for Levi Strauss when he was making jeans. Remember, they were made for miners and workmen, so the amount of stress on the fabric was huge. The rivets would ensure that seams stay in place, and they've remained ever since. Number 8. Small yet powerful. On your laptop power cable, you would have definitely seen a cylindrical piece attached to it. That's called a ferrite bead, and its function is to isolate your computer from electromagnetic noise. You could also use ferrite beads to remove power line noises such as telephones, tellies, DVDs, and music systems. Number 7. A real game changer. Forget about finding a pen or a sharp object to prick the foil covering whatever tube's cream you're trying to access. Just check the lid. On the top of the lid, you'll likely find a sharp point. That's there for you to open the foil with. Take the lid off, slip it over, and push it through. You're ready to apply. Oh, and by the way, hope you heal quickly. Number 6. Climb every mountain. Backpacks often sport a little diamond-shaped fabric symbol on the front, and on our backpacks, yes, it's more of a fashion statement, but they originated from hikers and climbers. That is the part of the backpack where they would attach a rope or metal loop, making them hands-free and ready to climb those steep inclines with ease. Number 5. Stay centered. Touch the letters F and J on your keyboards. Notice the little raised portion? Those are known as home keys, which they used to teach you about when you still did typing as a subject in school. They help you find the center of the keyboard without having to lower your head. Do people still need them today? I'm not sure, but let us know if you find them useful. Number 4. Happy to help. Grab a padlock, turn it over, and have a look at the tiny hole at the bottom. Bet you didn't even notice it was there. Should you ever need to lock something up underwater, this hole acts as a filter. It's also the spot where you add the oil in order to lubricate it. Number 3. 2 for the price of 1. Let's speak tape measures, and here are 2 morsels of information you may have not heard about. The little hole at the end of the tape measure is there for you to hook on screws or nails, so you can measure without it rushing back at you and giving you a massive fright at the same time. The little serrated edge is there for you to make a mark should your hands be tied up, which if you're using a tape measure, they generally are. Number 2. Knowledge is power. Silica gel beads are placed in all sorts of products, and they're quite amazing little things. They absorb all the excess moisture, so you'll find them in leather products, furniture, electronics, and even pepperoni. Basically, you'll find these beads in anything that could possibly spoil with some exposure to moisture and condensation. If you do happen to swallow some by accident, don't panic. It's pretty harmless, despite the severe warnings. And number 1. Could save your life. This is an important one to remember. Headrests have a life-saving purpose. Should you be trapped in your car and need to get out, remove the headrest and use the strong metal bars to break your window, allowing you to make your escape.
If you liked that video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like me, maybe you can check out a video over here on American Eye.